Welcome to the Curriculum Mix breakout session. Periodically, you'll be prompted to pause this video to reflect or complete an activity. It'll be helpful to have a pen and paper handy. Please be sure to keep track of time to ensure you complete the video by the end of the session. But also feel free to pause and rewind as needed. Ready to get started? Our goal during this breakout session is to intentionally explore curriculum products. We'll do that by harnessing a framework for you to build your ideal curriculum mix, identifying gaps in your current curriculum, and finally by exploring content providers to see what products might best fill those gaps. Let's begin by activating your background knowledge. Check out these two questions and consider how you might respond. Pause this video, jot your answers down, and then resume playing. Welcome back. Let's tackle the first question. What is curriculum? I can imagine that you might be nodding your head as you look at this graphic. Curriculum is simply what you teach students, be it in an online or an offline format. Districts or schools buy it in bulk, typically in a multi-year adoption schedule. Today we want to think about curriculum in a new way. To make sure we're all aligned on what we mean by curriculum, we're going to briefly go over the three types of curriculum categories: foundational content, flexible content, and highly customizable content. It's important to note that all three of these categories can be delivered in an online or an offline format. So let's start with foundational content. I'll give you a moment to take this all in. Foundational content is core curriculum or course material. So when and why might we hire, that is, choose to use, foundational content? What purpose does it serve? Pause this video for 2 to 3 minutes as you jot down your thoughts and then resume playing. Next, let's look at flexible content. Flexible content is adaptive, meaning it adjusts based on the student. When and why do you hire flexible content? Take another moment to jot down your thoughts. Go ahead and pause. I'll wait. Finally, we've got highly customizable content. This is teacher-driven personalization at its best. Imagine a Google Classroom chock full of differentiated content based on student interests and needs. When and why do you hire highly customizable content? Pause the video one last time to note your answer. See you in just a few minutes. Thanks for capturing your answers. I imagine that you wrote down very different reasons to hire or use content than I did. For example, I hire foundational content mostly for remediation. But my teacher friend down the hall, she hires it for initial delivery, independent practice, and even assessment. It's a really big part of her classroom. The reality is that folks hire content for different reasons, different students, and different scenarios. To each their own, if you will. In fact, the diet of curriculum that your students consume should vary, and it may look different depending on their grade level, the subject area, and even student preferences. We're going to think about the curriculum diet that students have today and what their diet could look like to amp up the personalization. So let's look at this curriculum and break it into a mix or a weekly diet. It could look like this. The lion's share of content in this teacher's class is foundational. She spends 60% of her instructional week harnessing it, with a bit of flexible and a pinch of highly customizable content. Take a moment to consider the benefits and the drawbacks to this mix. Pause this video while you jot down the pros and cons in a T-chart. See you in a minute or two. What's your current mix? What's your ideal mix? Let's find out the answers to both of those questions. First, let's start by listing the curriculum resources you have in each category. Then, estimate the percentage that they're used in your class. Now time for a bit of reflection. How might you want to adjust those percentages? Maybe not at all. Might you want any more flexible content? Less foundational content? Take 5 minutes to sketch this out for one of your classes. Welcome back. Based on your table and your ideal mix percentages, where do you need additional curriculum? If you're a teacher, you can imagine using this table to justify a product or a tool request from your school principal. He or she, or even a district leader in turn, might create a heat map to make broader curriculum purchasing decisions. So you've identified your gaps, but where do we go from here? Education Elements has created one-pagers for many of the most popular digital content providers. So it's time to dig in and see which products might meet your needs. How can you quickly tell if a content provider is right for your classroom? In addition to using grade level and content area, Education Elements created 3 spectrums to help you easily sift through products. Each one-pager includes these spectrums in the top right corner. First is instructional use. Is this an instructional product, or does it offer skill and drill practice activities? If the product is placed in the middle of the spectrum, it means it offers both instruction and practice. The same approach is taken to student support. Which group might this product help? If scored in the middle, the product supports a broad range of students. Finally is teacher input, my favorite. Is this product plug and play, meaning very little teacher prep to use it, or does this product allow for plenty of teacher customization? Remember, your goal is to jot down the products that will help you establish your ideal curriculum mix. You'll share these findings with your school leadership, so be sure to take notes. You're a pro at this by now, so please pause the video and ensure you have access to the one-pagers. Enjoy your research, and thanks so much for joining me today.